This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sean Preston.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Good Neighbors Podcast. Today we have a great neighbor on with us, which is Brandon Happeney of HydroGreen Irrigation Inc. What's going on, my man?
Not much, man. Not much, Sean. Thanks for the invite out here. It's always great having the opportunity talking about our business. Not a lot of guys do it, and we're just out here trying to spread some education about irrigation, and hopefully we can do your lawn someday.
100%. I'm definitely interested to learn a little bit more, especially since it's been over a year since we first got a chance to meet each other at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Way back when, but I first have to say, great minds think alike, because I've got the same color.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're off to a good start.
I feel like, between you and I feel like this awkwardness sometimes, getting new into podcasting and being a co-host on the show. Yeah. You never know. I always say, like I just said to you, it's like people like real. They like the raw thing, right? We're human beings. We're made to make mistakes, and I just feel awkward every time I ask a question and I do one of these. I go in for the straw.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll be sucking on mine too. Don't worry about that.
Awesome. Well, hey, lots has changed, so I'm excited to know. And why don't we share with our listeners? Tell them a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so we were created in 2008. Me and a friend started it up. He's since been bought out, went down a different path. So ever since he left, we definitely took this business and transformed it into something that's really worth chatting about, especially these last 3 years. We've been able to do some really good numbers, meet some great people. We have great staff. We have a bunch of crews now. So basically, we're rescon irrigation contractors. We do anything from fixing a 1/2-inch hose line to a 6-inch water main coming from the city. We got into that stuff about 2 years ago. A lot of our business now is commercial. We do Walmarts, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, Tanger outlets. We have our big customers at TDSB. They're a huge customer for us. They've been in our back pocket for a while and not going anywhere, which is really good. But yeah, the gist of our business is to make the grass green. Let's put it that way.
Phenomenal. I know I ended up getting one put in 2021, I think.
Nice.
Just after COVID. It might have been in 2020. Been
Nice.
thinking about it for a long time, and I have to say, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference. That definitely sucks dragging your hose around. Definitely sucks, thinking about it, leaving your hose on, falling asleep on the couch, getting that water bill. There's so many different scenarios that we come across that, once somebody that doesn't have it, they're used to that norm, but then once they upgrade, just like you did, and you get yourself a sprinkler system, you definitely notice. Not only your grass is greener, but you have a little bit more free time on your hands, and you don't have to think about it, right? Just have to think about some spring and fall service, and that's it. It's nice. It's nice to have. Automatic sprinklers are the way to go.
Yeah, so much so where the grass is growing so damn fast, I had to hire somebody this year to do it. So
there you go. We have the same issue here. We're almost cutting our grass every 3-4 days. It's crazy. It grows like a bad weed.
Cool. So you said you're moving away from residential. Are you still taking care of residential? Is it something you still offer in your business, or are you really kind of looking to move into kind of full time on the commercial side?
Yeah. So we have two crews. I was telling you a little story would be before we just came on here, but we have actually 2 trucks that are dedicated to residential. We have about just over 750 clients there. And then we have just over 96 properties, commercial properties in the Simcoe County area, a couple of retirement homes in the city. And then we have a big sports field division now too. But it seems to be the case that we're kind of trending towards we definitely are accepting residential customers and all that jazz, but just there's certain jobs that we'll take, certain jobs that we won't take. We won't take the townhouse or the cookie cutter home. We're going to take projects out in Midhurst, Snow Valley, Horseshoe Valley, kind of some bigger properties, Braystone, stuff areas like that, where it's not just a quick 1-day job, might be a 2-3-day job. And just seems to be the way that our business is going. Seems to be, we're doing a lot of commercial stuff, a lot of condos, a lot of townhouse complexes. We have a very unique project coming up. It's for dog kennels. So so they have a bunch of paddocks, or however you want to say it, and we have to irrigate that so that the grass grows nice and thick and doesn't tear up with all the dogs on there. So that was a little bit of a unique one that we're doing end of May. But just kind of getting into more so some bigger projects rather than, talking to 5 customers in a week. We're talking to 1 type of thing, and just a little bit, to be honest with you, on the business side of things, it's a little bit better that way. Just, you don't have to have 5 conversations. You have 1 conversation, and then it's a little bit easier on the stress level too, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's a scalability of your business. It's where you're at now. Right?
Yeah. We're very fortunate to be in that position now. We weren't always in that position. We had a Dodge Dakota one day, little Lowe's trailer with some Tupperware on it, little parts. Why anybody went with me before, I have no idea. That was 15 years ago, but now you fast forward 15 years, I would have never imagined that this is where it would have taken me. So very, very happy with how things are turning out, and just keeping my nose to the grindstone and just keep putting one foot in front of the other every day. That's all you can do.
So what about that kind of, I think, I always put my mind in that like local small and medium size, business and most of those people, or some of those people, not everybody, they have a landlord that they take care of. Obviously some people outgrow their space. And so you'll find there'll be a kind of a shuffle that goes on. And so what's my kind of my thought process? If I've got a bit of real estate to work with, on the front yard, is that something where you guys can come in and and put something in for them? Do you go to the landlord for that? How does that kind of work?
Oh, so if you had some rental properties is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then you want to get these properties irrigated. We do work with property management companies now. We have 6 or 7 that we do this for. They basically own, anywhere from 5 to 10 homes. They have mature tenants, not student tenants that are going to, leave the hose tap on or leave it running, cause you a couple grand bill. These are more so when people rent out full homes and they do care about the lawn. We would come in, put a full automatic lawn sprinkler in. We would then sync it to the landlord's phone, and then so say house 1 would be controller 1, and you can change the programming and all that on that one. And then house 2, house 3, house 4, you have it all on your phone. You just be able to pick up your phone, take a look at what's going on. If you have a new walkway going in at house 3, or that there's somebody's doing renovating the basement or upgrading your home, you don't want it to be spraying them, or you don't want it to be wet on the grass while they're loading stuff in, you can just pause that cycle. There's lots of cool ways that you can manage it now, from sitting in an office just like this, or in your office where you're at, and you can manage that aspect of it. I know that a lot of things are moving to smart homes, and we are definitely on par with all that too. We have a couple nice products out there that can provide that service. And it is pretty cool. Like I said, people that don't have it and then do have it, they wish they got it 5 years sooner, especially when you can control everything from your phone. And there is that wow factor, and holy shit, that's cool at the end of every day, or at the end of every project, which puts a smile on my face and all the guys' faces.
I opted to not go with my phone version, so I got to walk to my basement.
Yeah, that's the traditional way.
Yeah, and I'm changing it up.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's so much easier. I did the same thing with my getting a Nest thermostat.
Oh yeah,
you're all the way upstairs, depending on the seasonality that you're in. It's either too hot or too cold.
Yep.
And you're like, I gotta walk all the way downstairs, and I'm already in bed. And I'm like, we got to make some changes here.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that. I have a old lady. She doesn't like me calling her that, but my better half, she definitely changes her temperature every hour. So very nice that we have it on our phone.
All right. So tell our listeners a little bit about your journey. How and why did you get into doing what you're doing today?
Well, when I was 18, playing hockey, big hockey guy. I got a hockey scholarship and all that jazz. But when I was 18, I was playing junior. I was looking for some beer money, to be honest with you, and trying just a bit of cash to go out and have some fun with the boys, as any young man would do. And then I got hooked up with a company called Wetlands. They're not around anymore, but got hooked up with them. They showed me the ropes for 2 years. I became the foreman there by the time I was 20. And then I started doing side jobs on the side. And then I was told that I was competition about 6 side jobs in. So me as a 20-year-old and him as a 55-year-old, I was kind of confused. I had no truck, no nothing at the time. And he said, you know what, we're going to have to let you go. We don't see this being a good fit for future business of our business, because I was pretty good and not to my own horn, and we can get in and out pretty quick. We're a little bit cheaper than them. So yeah, so then I got technically fired. So then at the end of that, gave me a swift kick in the butt to either go find another job or go buy a truck. And that's so. Kind of said, why don't I roll the dice here? And so I went to go buy a $4,000 Dodge Dakota, a little Lowe's trailer, had some big, those big Tupperware containers.
Yeah.
Had that full of parts just scattered all over the place. We were trying to do small jobs, big jobs, whatever jobs, and it seemed. And now that I remember what prices we were charging, we're probably people are probably looking at us like we're crazy, but. We were doing stuff for like we're only making $50 and 2 hours, something like that. Just trying to. It was still the mentality of mommy and daddy are still paying the roof over my head at the time. I was just looking for beer money. But then as things went on, went to university, got out of university, started to lean forward a little bit more with things. Bought out the guy I had a business with before. Like I said, he went down a wrong path. So then I took the business to where it is now, and. There has been some trials and tribulations. We used to do landscaping, maintenance, and irrigation. And I got some really good advice. One day somebody said to me, you should just stick with what you're really like and what you're really good at, which was irrigation. It's what I learned in the green space through Wetlands. So then I said, you know what, screw the landscaping, screw the maintenance, screw anything else, focus on irrigation. That was the best move that I could have done. Now that we're just focused on that, we've become one of the industry leaders in Ontario, to be honest with you. And we wouldn't be there without our team or office manager or anybody. It's not just me pushing the cart. It's everybody. I'm just the guy showing up to your door and doing the sales call, and you'll see me on sites, digging some holes sometimes, pointing some fingers, but I'm always on the road, whether it's in the city or Muskoka or here in Simcoe County. I'm always doing something. But just to touch back on that journey, it's been quite the journey where, go from having a little Dodge Dakota to now having a bunch of trucks and vans, and we just moved into a 2,500 square foot shop, which is a huge move for us. Lots of outdoor storage for pipe and all that. So that's really exciting on our end. And it's just like I was saying to you before, it's just kind of cool to see how the business has progressed through the years. And I'm definitely touching on all the positive things for sure. But there's been it's been a few people don't pay, or a few learning curves like that, getting contracts up, and there's the business side of things that my mom and dad are blue collar people. They haven't owned a business, so sometimes it's hard to lean on somebody else for some knowledge and all that. But as I get older, I start to realize that there's people around me that I can ask questions, and businesses that are doing better than I am, or we're doing better than I am. And if you see a business that's doing well, they're going to take it as the biggest compliment to them that I'm coming and asking questions, saying, hey, I like what you're doing. What did you do to get to where you're at? And then once we achieve that, I go to the next business, or I go to the next mentor, and I just keep going like that. It's been a really good way to find valuable information on not just the irrigation side of things, but the business side of business. So,
well, I mean, that's the other thing too, right? I mean, some businesses will have a small, narrow-minded thinking I've sat down with enough to see it with my own eyes, and they'll look at like that 55-year-old looked at you and said, "Your competition."
Yeah.
Right.
It's very
And then they're the other guys that understand that there's enough business to go around.
exactly.
Right? That's why.
And there is the guys that are good at irrigation. There's a few of us here in Barrie. It's a bunch in Toronto, but there are a lot of the guys that are not good at it as well. But the guys that are good, we're not scared of somebody else coming into our markets. We're not scared of anything like that. If they have questions, people call all the time. There's a group of us, 5 or 6 of us, that were in a chat together, warn each other about bad customers or good experiences and all that jazz. And we don't see it as competition. Sometimes, we might go quote a house in Snow Valley, and two other guys that are in that same chat quoted it, but we all land around the same price anyways. We talk about it. We don't want to saturate the market. There are guys here that, if your service calls $100, there's guys that will do it for $50, and we just laugh at these guys because they have no long-term plan. They're just wanting some cash today and this
fly by night companies.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Blows, and you see them all the time. People that call themselves pros, and they are the farthest thing from pros. And see it more often than not in our business, and you see it a lot in the green space as well. Landscapers that say they're landscapers and they're not. It's guys that cut the grass and all the lines are going all over which way. There's pros and there's not pros. So there's ways to do things right, and there's ways to do things incorrectly, as you know.
And that's, why there's that saying out there, right? It's competition at the bottom and collaboration at the top. And the businesses that understand and have that mentality, that know that there's lots to go around, like that group that you're in, right? That's where you're going to get that sharing of information, make each other better because there's enough going around.
Exactly.
And the others, they'll take care of themselves. They always do. Right?
Exactly. And it's a shame because, young me was kind of on that same train where everybody's competition. And then as you start, going through the life cycle, you start to realize that, there's so much business out there, especially in Ontario itself. There's construction on every corner. There's houses going up. There's all the time. You just laugh because you're like, who's buying all these houses? And it's just, we're showing up, slapping the irrigation in, and it seems that the well just doesn't run dry on that, on leads and all that jazz. So it's been good, but we've definitely positioned ourselves to, generate leads and good images and, good, just being true to who you are and being a real person. There's no fakeness when we walk through the door, whether it's me doing a sales call, whether it's the install teams showing up, knocking on your door. We're all real dudes. We're not somebody just, blowing smoke. You're getting our personality. You're getting, there's a level of professionalism, obviously, but, it's just be real. And I find that that's taken us very, very far, which has been great.
I wanted to ask you, because you talked about do what you're good at.
Yeah.
But also what you like. And you had to have both. So clearly you like what you do.
I love what I do.
But you're passionate about what you do. And I'm a passionate kind of guy.
You are.
Aries, for those who are into that kind of shit.
Yep.
A lot of girls are into that. Some guys are into that kind of stuff too, but I got 2 younger sisters. I'm surrounded by women, so I actually know this shit.
Oh, yeah.
The fire and the passion's real with me, but I wanted to ask you about your passion when it comes to what you do for a living. Like, tell me about it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're not
you. I want to know you.
What's that?
I want to know you, your passion,
my
business owner.
The business owner. Yeah. So my passion, it's, I love the business side of things. I love, going to a beautiful home, installing a system over 2-3 days, 1 to 3 days, and making it look like we weren't even there. And seeing that homeowner's face at the end of every job, or that project manager's face, or that GC's face, or that account manager's face when we turn on the system and they literally say, holy shit, that's cool. and that just drives me to keep going for the next job. And there's 1% of the times people don't say that, because you're always gonna have that 1% of cut.
Yeah.
But No, man. For me, it's I like making things wet and I like making things green. It's good, man. It's good. It's been I don't know where I got the passion for it. I don't know why I chose irrigation. My dad had brought up something along about 2 months ago. We were talking about a little school project I did when I was in grade 4 or 5, and it was just all it was a little drill on a little pump, and you're moving a Coke bottle full of water to the next Coke bottle full of water. And he's like, maybe that's what started your pneumatic things. And then he said, you know what? My mom used to work at McDonald's, and my first job, believe it or not, was I would water the plants by hand with a hose when I was in grade 2. And I'd get $20, and then I'd go buy some hockey cards because I was into that back in the day. But then I never even thought about it this many years later. My dad mentioned that. I guess he was chatting with one of his buddies, and they said, "Why is your son into that?" And he's like, he gave it some thought one night, and then he mentioned that to me when we were hanging out. I'm like, that's it's weird how that kind of came about. And then I had an irrigation job when I was 18, 20, and then that happened the way it happened. And then I just said, hey, why don't I just give this a shot? And then now that I've, went through all the landscaping, all the jazz, and, had my fingers in too many things. And I'm like, what do I really like? And it was the irrigation. We did land on irrigation. Yeah. And now it's just, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy, even it sounds really nerdy, but I enjoy counting our inventory. I enjoy, sending out those customer emails. I enjoy dealing with, various business problems. I enjoy learning new things. We just got incorporated, so that's a whole nother ball game. We got incorporated last April, so that's a whole nother ball game, and learning how the actual business numbers work on that side of things. It's a learning curve, but we have some good we have a good accountant, great bookkeeper that kind of slaps me in the right direction and all that jazz. But no, it's just the passion just has always been there. It's very weird. It's a great question where it comes from, but it's just there. It's just like if you're an NHL hockey player, NBA player, you're just passionate about basketball, and I hope that or hockey, or I'm passionate about lawn sprinklers, and it's not just a system like yours, but it's the ones where we're doing sports fields, 2-inch zone lines. I know this means nothing to you, it's Chinese to you, but 2-inch zone lines, 4-inch water mains, stuff that has some very high volume of water and pressure going through it. That's what really turns my crank after mastering the residential thing, mastering some smaller commercial stuff. It's the bigger stuff that kind of, I'm like, okay, this I have to think about this a little bit more. It's not just putting a couple of sprinklers on a line and making sure they're symmetrical. It's a little bit more thinking involved, which sometimes my brain works. So there you go.
No, definitely. I used to work for a company called Mueller Canada, and they do water flow control products for water and natural gas. So when I first got my first big boy job, I got promoted to an account manager, but I got transferred from water over to gas. And I remember this one guy, because you would go out in the field and learn, and and we work on high pressure gas lines. There's clearly a difference between gas and water. And this account manager looked over at me. He'd been with them, like, they're a bunch of old boys, right?
Yeah,
20. Okay. And these guys are like in their 60s.
You're fresh.
I'm fresh. And they're like, the difference between gas and water? When the water explodes, you just get wet.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, when the gas explodes, it's not a good situation. You don't want to get anywhere close to that. But to that point, like, we're always out in the heat. We're always we're working in warm weather. Just we turn the sprinkler system on at the end of the day. Not only are we playing around in the water just to cool off, but it's cool seeing families, kids could come out and run through the sprinklers, and they're playing on their phone, turning it on, and it's just cool, man. It's just cool. It's not like a traditional sprinkler system was like 15, 20 years ago. Everything's all modern and updated and water efficient, and it's cool. It's cool. It's just it seems to be an industry that's always changing, and it's very exciting for me.
Very cool. So can you maybe tell us, are there any like misnomers? Are there any like myths that you get from clients about your business?
Some myths are, sometimes I show up to a guy's house. They're on a well or they're on city water. And people just don't have the general knowledge of what's going on. So when we're doing our sales call, I'm there for 20 minutes. I educate them. But the myths are, well, I have a hose bib on the side of the house. Why can't I just put a pipe to that and water my whole lawn at once? Well, then you have to explain, hey, listen, there's pressures, flows, there's certain amount of flow requirements per zone, and you have to split them up, and sides of the house can't be on as long as your front yard. And your front yard doesn't want to be as long as the garden. And you want these things to be separated so you have a little bit of control on how much water gets put out. So that's one little myth. Another myth is a lot of people think it's going to be $1,000 to put something in like this, and it's not. It's sometimes a general house could be anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, depending on what's going on. Sometimes even more. We're doing a residential project at the end of May. I was telling you about it earlier. It's $32,000. It's crazy. It's there's some projects out there that are, he was thinking it was going to land around the 15 mark, and I'm like, oh well, double that. And just educate. It's not myths. It's just people are not educated on what we're doing. People have cut their lawn before. People have mulched their beds before. People have, installed some flagstone or interlock or built a fence even, but nobody does their irrigation system. And when they do, they normally end up calling us 2 years later to come fix it because nothing's really operating as it should. So there's no real myths that I could see. Well, one myth is that a lot of people don't know that there's a certification out there for irrigation. It's not mandatory yet, but plumbers need to have their certificates, electricians need to have their certificates. But there's something called the Certified Irrigation Technician and Certified Irrigation Contractor. So we are both of those, and that is very rare in our field. And what that allows not only us to do, we can bid on certain jobs with that, but for homeowners or property managers, they have a little bit of peace of mind that we do have the education behind us, and we are not just somebody with a trenching shovel and a couple plastic fittings and a piece of pipe trying to water your lawn. When you think about it, there's definitely some math involved. There's definitely some thinking involved, design, all that jazz. Even from a small system all the way up to the big systems, there's a method to our madness, and there is some sort of regulatory just ways to go about doing your business. There's right and wrong ways, and I've fixed systems that other contractors have installed and charged half as what we would charge, but then we have to come replace the whole system. It can be in our industry, it's you either get somebody that's really good or you get somebody that's shouldn't even hold a business license. And unfortunately, it's like that in a lot of different industries, but we see it a lot in ours. Like everybody thinks they can spray some lawn with water. It's not that easy sometimes. But
yeah. So what do you like to do for fun?
So me, what do I like to do for fun? I'm a big hockey guy. So play hockey three times a week in the winter time. We're like teachers, so we get the winter off. So I play hockey with my dad twice a week, and then two other times with my buddy, so 4 times a week. And then when I do get the chance, we like to travel. Me and the old lady like to travel. We're going on a 2-week adventure here, and in a week from now, going to the Bahamas, Miami, then Vegas. So that's what we always do, one big trip a year, and try to get away and get a little bit of a reprieve just before the season starts. So when the season starts, I'm working 8 days a week and 30 hours a day. It's crazy. So we always do that. But other than that, just big hockey guy. It's weird. I'm a simple guy. I'm really hyper focused on my business. Watch a lot of hockey on TV.
You a Leaf fan?
No, I am not that silly.
You didn't watch that bullshit last night?
I did watch the Leafs. I did watch it last night. So I'm a Bruins fan. So I'm a Bruins. Yeah. So I'm a Bruins fan and a Colorado.
Oh, it's even worse.
So my dad's a Bruins fan. So yeah. So we were loving it last night. But no, it's just one of those things that, you can sit on the couch, have my laptop, do some invoicing, just shoot us some emails. You know how it is. Just, like yourself, owning your own business, you never really turn off. And yeah, so we travel, or where I get away, play hockey or golf. I love golfing. Golfing the last 4 or 5 years, I've been getting into that, and I make time for it in the summertime. Try to play once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week on a Sunday or a twilight. But then I only play about 1 game of hockey a week in the summer, and that's on a good week. So, like I said, I'm very busy in the summertime between here and Toronto, and I'm on the road a lot. Listen to a lot of podcasts, actually, a lot of self-help hockey podcasts, just a whole bunch of different stuff, all sports related, big sports guy. So I would say, to blow off some steam, it always evolves around sports.
Nice. Yeah. Big sports guy myself. Like the hockey, love the golf, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And a little bit of video games too. My significant other got me some balloons out of nowhere, but you could see those are the 3 things that'll outline me right there: pink flamingos, beer, and video games. So I'm a simple man.
Nice. Well, what's your favorite game to play? I'm a bit of a gamer, but I haven't had a chance to play in a while.
So yeah, we're definitely going way over our time limit today. So I got this new game called Helldivers 2. I spoke once on the show about it. I got a good friend of mine is a general contractor, and him and I played World of Warcraft back in the day. But this is far from that. So basically, it's like a cross between kind of like Halo and have you ever seen that movie Starship Troopers with the bugs that come out of the ground?
Yeah.
So like you go in, there's four of you go in, you land on a planet, there's different kinds, just like planets that are hot, planets that are super cold, jungle, like all this stuff. And these bugs come out of the ground and they try to kill you. And you've got you've got guns and you've got stuff to protect you, but you have a mission that you need to do and you die a lot. And it's just fucking chaos. I love it.
Nice, man. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. Just disconnect the brain and go kill some bugs.
Yeah, that's how I kind of disconnect the brain. And then obviously I like, being outside and doing the hiking, doing fishing, going camping. I like all that stuff. So.
You like fishing too. Nice. I'm a fisherman myself. I got out a couple times a lot last year, but it's fun. I never tried the ice fishing thing though. I'd like to try.
I have, and I'm surprisingly really shit at it. So I'm a good fisherman, but you can't really do much. You're just standing here doing this, right?
Yeah,
it's like
drinking a beer and see all these beers are gone for some reason.
That's it, right?
I must have dropped them all down the hole. I don't know.
So could you describe us maybe like a hardship or a life challenge that you had in your life that you overcame that, you're better for it, you're stronger for it?
Hardship. No. When I was a young man, I really thought pretty highly of myself, and I walked around a little bit with my chest puffed up a little bit for God knows what reason. But I used to play university hockey. My coach would always say to me, "Never, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late." And I used to just be like one of those guys with an attitude, saying, "What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Like blah blah blah." And sounds really another sports analogy and all that jazz. But one time we were late for a 7 a.m. workout. I got there at 7:01 for whatever reason it was, and he benched me the next game. And then so that really stuck with me. That's not a great example of a hardship or anything like that, but that really stuck with me. And as I get older in life, even when you're doing quotes or you're arriving to podcasts or you're just I have another meeting with the marketing guy at 4. Just being 5 minutes early really speaks to your character. And I find that people that are, coming if we had something at 4 and I showed up at 3:59, you really look at that person weird. Even when we're hiring employees, shift starts at 7 a.m. You're showing up at 7 a.m. It's like, just kind of, what are you really doing here? Are you passionate about what you do, or are you just going through the paces because that's what you're doing in life right now, type of thing? So it's not really a hardship, but a good life lesson that I learned was that, and just the fact of growing up and starting to, just
learn.
Everybody has to do it, and it's very vague. But just
I'm the
growing.
same way. I can relate to that. I used to be super cocky when I was in high school.
Yeah, same.
I was a good hockey player, so I could score 4 goals in a game, but I needed to tell everybody about it.
Just stuff like that. It speaks to your character if you're just humble. You don't speak too much about it. If somebody asks, you can give them a long-winded answer. But just growing up and keeping things inside you and tight is a lot better way of going about your business rather than just being a loudmouth about it.
100%.
It gets annoying. People start thinking you're annoying. Always bragging about the car you drive or whatever's going on in your life, right? It just becomes like you just want to tell the guy to shut up and the girl to shut up type of thing, right? So, growing up and never being late. I strive to not be late. Always 5-10 minutes early, and that's how it works.
What's one thing that you wish that listeners knew about your business?
I wish that they knew that we were certified. I wish that they knew that, everything's all ducks are in a row. There's not a lot of guys around town or in Ontario that really have what we have going on. I wish they knew that we are very personal guys. We're not going to be showing up to your front door with 3 smokes hanging out of our mouth saying we're going to do it for half off type of thing. Just wish that they, most already do know this, but we speak to our customers like they're our friends. So anything that they know everything. We're really like all of our customers are our friends now. It sounds a lot to say that when we have over 750 residential clients, but whenever they see us or one of our techs, they're always very happy and cheery, and which speaks volumes to the type of people we are. And it's just know that we're personal guys and certified, and we can do anything big or small. It's no problem. We have all the machines and all the equipment to do all that now. And it's just a full service irrigation, whether it's a water main from the city or a little 1/2-inch water line, we can fix it, which is not what everybody thinks of an irrigation company. Everybody thinks lawn sprinklers only, but we can touch water mains and all that stuff too, and we have. And it's a lot more fun when we do that type of stuff.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, look, thanks a lot for coming on the show. It was a pleasure to reconnect with you.
Thank you.
Since it's been a while. Great person and a great story to tell. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Hey, thanks so much, Sean. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Stick around. I'll see you on the other side.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com or call 705-413-3775.